Hello, welcome to Task 8 results for the OoT Master Series. For those of you who have not been to an OMS stream before, the Ocarina of Time Master Series is a collection of 10 challenges that I put together for OOT speedrunners to accomplish. Each challenge lasts 2 weeks. It started at the beginning of 2023, and this is the 8th one. Players have those 2 weeks to come up with the best route that they can and the best execution of that route, submit to a leaderboard, and they get points depending on how well they do compared to everybody else in that task. And those points go towards an overall leaderboard, which will determine the winners at the end of the season. And there is currently about $2,300 up for grabs for the top 5 finishers at the end, which is super exciting. You can learn more about this whole thing at ootmasterseries.com, and if you want to contribute to the prize pool, you can see a link right below me right now, bit.ly/OMS-funds, and that will be open until the end of the season in about a month. So Task 8 was called Switch Hitter, and the goal of Task 8 was to hit at least one of each of the switch types you can see to the side of me right there. There are 2 different kinds of yellow floor switches and blue floor switches, but players just had to pick one. But otherwise, they had to hit each of those. There were a couple of restrictions. One of the restrictions was no RBA or BA, which are some powerful glitches which could have made this task much shorter, I think. And then the other major restriction was players were not allowed to enter an area that has a dungeon map unless they hit a new switch type for the first time while they're there. And once they do, then they're free to come and go from that area as they please. But if you enter a place that has a dungeon map in it, you have to hit a new switch while you're there. And that led to some interesting routing complications, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But I'm going to go ahead and switch over to the race screen. Going to count it in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. So, we have the top 4 this week: Count LG, RTA64, Top 3000, and ZFG. A set of familiar faces. And we've got Count, Dominator, and Bo here in comms with me. What's up, guys?
Hello, what's up?
Yo.
I'm here for some mid-level skill-ranged commentary.
Yeah, same.
So all of you guys took part in Task 8. What'd you think of it? Don't all jump in at once. Also, I'm going to start a prediction right now. This prediction lasts 2 minutes, and you can wager your channel points.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the biggest things was the dungeon map. If there's a dungeon map, you have to hit a switch while you're there restriction. Obviously, meaning basically you can't go to the bottom of the well for choose. So yeah. I think that was probably one of the kind of defining things, at least for the early route for this.
Yeah, when I was like trying to come up with ways to make the route for this a little less samey, and that felt like a good one because no bottom of the well choose is pretty interesting, and then there's like it means that you can't just like take a visit to a dungeon. Like if you want to get hover boots to make some stuff easier in Shadow Temple, like you have to go deep into Shadow to find a switch. So like there's some trade-offs on this. It was cool. So right off the bat, pretty much everybody's doing the same thing except for Top, who's the only player on N64 here, going straight to Aqua Escape. Any gimmers? I think we'll see some gimmers.
The toggle switch, was there really only one toggle switch in the game?
Yeah,
I can only think of one.
There were 3 of these switches are completely unique. Actually, no, sorry, just 2. The red floor switch only exists in Forest Temple to raise and strangely lower and then strangely raise again the water in the well in the courtyard. And then the toggle crystal switch was only present in Water Temple, in the room right before Dark Link.
Is there a uvula switch in another dungeon?
No, but there's another one deeper in Jabu.
Oh, so you mean unique as in like literally only one, not one dungeon? Okay.
But I mean, yeah, the unique as only like one dungeon is also pretty relevant here, because it's sort of like a lot of this route was almost predefined for runners. I think this is maybe one of the easier challenges to route, especially this late in the game. But it was a fun execution-heavy challenge, which I think is a good break, because some of the most recent ones have been a little bit tricky on the routing. Like number 7 was a puzzle. Number 9, the current one, is probably the most open-ended one in the whole thing.
So did ZFG just use a stick to burn the web, even though he has sword?
Does he have a shield?
Well, I think he crouched.
Yeah,
he's got a shield. He crouched. You need one to get to Deku.
Yeah.
At least without any major things. I don't know. Maybe it was just a flex that he could do it without breaking it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Good old cuckoos over in the on tops.
So we're gonna see our first switch here on my screen. I have the empty jump slash quick put away glitch, so you can reach that from the ground with stick ISG, and luckily the glitched crouch stab has the right damage value to hit that.
Yeah, I did the same thing in an earlier task as adult, and I was afraid Child wasn't going to be able to reach the I switch with QPA, but thankfully you still can.
Yeah, the Deku stick is super tall. So Deku was a pretty eventful spot. We've got Gim for a bottle. And there were 2 options for switches here. There's that yellow floor switch, which everybody seems to be avoiding, even though it would have helped open up the web that people burned using QPA. And then there was the slingshot switch, which nobody got slingshot for.
Well, I got the slingshot for this switch, I guess.
Oh yeah, definitely. Some people did, for sure. I just meant nobody on screen. Yeah, there were a few route options that we'll talk about later that made this challenge much more approachable. Slingshot is definitely one of them. Cack Bottle is definitely one of them, because I don't think there's a soul alive who enjoys performing Gim. Probably not even top defeat Ganon run.
Yeah, I was like, I don't really want to go to CAC to get the bottle, but I don't feel like learning Gim, because I mean, I haven't heard great things about it, so learning it.
It's a very awkward trick. It's just like there's a lot to know about it. It's a little bit hard to debug.
Speaking of debugging, everyone beating Goma. I'm sorry. It was right there, I had to.
After debugging Goma, everyone's gonna go rebugging in Lost Woods. So, it was mentioned earlier that Bottom of the Well is off limits in this challenge because it has a dungeon map, but strangely it has exactly 0 switches. So there was kind of a strict ban on even entering bottom of the well because of the restriction. So players need to find a new way to get Amchus. And because Decatree was sort of already routed in here as being a good place to get a bottle and a switch, it seemed pretty strong to get Bombchus from Spirit Trial because of the existence of the Ganondorf Wrong Word. How do I come up with these challenges? By sitting alone in a dark room quietly and thinking for months. Is this the first challenge where Ganondorf is making an appearance? Oh, yeah, that's right.
The dungeon completion
just to
one.
skip the Emerald cutscene, not actually to go to Ganon's castle, though, I think, right? Count opting for a 4th heart here, and that'll come into play later. RTA as well. Oh, speaking of, let's see what the predictions are like. We've got 41% on Count, 50% on ZFG, 6% on RTA, and 3% on top. Alright, see how that goes.
And ZFG skipping the heart.
Yep. Are Spirit Trial Chews relevant in any main category anymore? For a long time, we used to do it in MST. I don't remember if MST still does it. Count, I think you would probably know. Not even there, I don't think. Oh, I push this AMQ, I guess. And then just, like, use the one of them to just finish Spirit Trial, and that's it. The literal only spot in the whole game that you need a bomb shoe. So, yeah, little owl skip. After Decatree and Choose, there were a few options. One option is to go adult right away. A second option is to stay child if you don't feel comfortable doing stuff like Jabu as adult, because we're definitely going to have to go to Jabu's belly for the ceiling switch. And a bunch of players opted to do Jabu as child, because entering Jabu as child is a little bit easier than entering it as adult. Especially because the easiest setup for entering Jabu as adult uses hover boots. But hover boots are not banned in this run, but like sort of soft banned, because if you enter Shadow Temple to get hover boots, you're committing to a pretty long trek to get a switch deeper into the dungeon.
For the longest time, I thought Shadow Temple has no switch. I don't know why, but then I was glad the switch was so far back in the dungeon that it isn't worth it.
Yeah, it's
Is there just in the Crusher room?
Yeah, the floor switch in the Crusher room, I think, might be it.
Yeah, it should be the only one.
Top getting a fairy from Ganon's castle.
Nice.
I wonder if that was fast. I didn't think of that. It's coming up. We're gonna need a fairy for Doom Jump in Dodongo's Cavern, and I got my fairy from the Shield Grave. I wonder if it was faster to do it in Ganon's Castle. Yeah, Count bought Hylian Shield by selling bugs, right? Is that right? Smart. Did you time that to be faster than just picking up the shield in the graveyard? Nice. Including the a fairy? Because where did you get a fairy afterwards then? Okay, but so where did you get your fairy? Oh, that's right. I remember seeing that. RNG fairy. What is that, a 1/16th chance if you're at critical health? Oh, you can't hear Count at all? Oh no. Count, can you speak? What? Oh no. Hold on. We're having technical difficulties. Hold on 1 second. I apologize. Alright. Count, go ahead and speak.
Hello.
There he is! Alright. I'm sorry, Count, for silencing you.
That's okay.
You guys missed it. He only said the coolest stuff for the last 15 minutes.
I'm blown away.
He's quiet? Alright, we'll turn him up. Alright, one more time. Count, give me a test.
Test.
Good. Nobody good enough to do child only. Dang. Child only on this task would have been a lot. Let's see, what would you have to do? I mean, Child Fire Temple is always a pain in the butt. And then...
I feel like Water Temple would probably be the biggest problem, right?
Water Temple is, yeah, that would be tough.
You'd probably have to hover up to the ledge just to do ledge clip, to do the out of bounds swimming, right? I assume Child can't just jump up there.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, no RBA moose, so you wouldn't be able to RBA keys. But yeah, it would just be extra hovering, I think. Oh? This person wants to offer promotion of my channel, viewers, followers, views, and chatbots. The price is lower than any competitor. The quality is guaranteed to be the best. Perfect. This is great.
I think that's just what you need, Danny.
Yeah. Alright, so the first order of business as adult is some pretty standard stuff. Hookshot, shield, and then for those of us who didn't already get a fairy, it's fairy time. And so because we only have these 20 bomb shoes, and you can't RBA more, and there's going to be quite a bit of explosive usage in this run, a pretty early priority is to get more explosives. Refillable explosives. So Dodongo's Cavern is high on the list.
Interesting. I opted for the super cozy casual route, maybe because I was like burnt out on task 6, I think. And so yeah, I've done the glitchless any percent child section, more or less, but with a few glitches, and I got the 10 shoes there, and I only needed these 10 shoes, but it was too perfect, I think.
Ooh, interesting.
I was really hoping to find some way to enter DC with blue fire and like not have choose yet, but it's like it's 300 I think in market, which is ridiculous, and Ice Cavern is illegal because it doesn't have any switches. So
yeah,
I was really sad that I couldn't work that.
Yeah, I don't really know why it's so expensive from the shop. Probably just to intentionally gate it from you early in Adult 1. Like, they figure it's unlikely that you have gotten so many Skulltulas by that point.
Yeah, Hyrule's economy is just completely whack. Like, you can buy something that revives you from the dead for 50. You can buy, like, a literal soul for 30. But a fish is 200. Like, I don't know what's going on with the economy.
So, if we're going to the Dodongo's Cavern, there are 2 options for switches there. Is that right? We got a yellow floor switch that raises the... Oh, no, 3 options, maybe? Yeah, 3. We got a yellow floor switch that raises the big platform in the main room. We've got a couple blue switches. One in the Armos to the right. They use the Armos for to open the door to the Zelfos fight. And then in the back room, the blue switch that you push the block onto to open the door. And then there are some gold eye switches in the slingshot room, the slingshot fire rooms. And when I made this challenge, my first iteration of making my benchmark time, I was like convinced that those were silver because I thought gold was like for arrows only. And so I did like a whole recording just like under the assumption that those switches were silver eyes, and so they weren't worth getting because it was better to do silver in like Decatry, as most people did. But yeah, so I ended up like doing a gold switch in Forest Temple.
It's crazy how you play this game every day and hit all the switches every day, but then when this task comes around, you have no idea which switches were.
Yeah, like, I didn't even think about the fact that the one in the back of DC that you put the block on is a blue switch, because, like, it's in a hole, you don't see it.
Yeah, you never
like,
look at it.
It makes sense, because mechanically, like, it doesn't stay down, but I didn't even think of that one being a blue switch. I mean, I wouldn't have hit it anyway, but...
So nobody hit the yellow switch in DC, but one person hit the Armos switch to the right, and one person hit the block switch in the back, and that was their blue switch. Doom jump action. I wanted to shout out one person who did a pretty interesting route. And we're past the point where we can talk about this part of the route now, so it's fine. TKC, who had a good time, and we'll find out just how good later, did a really cool route where instead of doing Ganondorf for choose, they went to GTG super early for choose, and since you can like do the hookshot clip now without explosives, it was like decently fast, and I didn't even consider that, and I don't know if anybody else did, but their time ended up pretty good.
I really wanted to do that, but it just... I don't know, with the route that I had, because in order to do that, you have to go get hookshot and then go over to GTG and then go back since I was still planning on going to DC. So I was just like, I don't know if, and that the other problem is that chest is only 5 chews.
Yeah.
Which I think wasn't enough, at least for the route at the time. It might have ended up being enough by like my final route, but so it might have still ended up faster for me. I don't know, but I just went to Spiritus Child, which is probably not terribly fast either. Especially Naburu talks so dang long, man.
Yeah, she does.
So yeah, I was kind of hoping to do that, but I didn't end up doing it.
So, more QPA being used to hit these gold switches in DC. Maybe I messed up, but I think I timed it to be faster to save warp out of DC rather than walk out. But I saw a lot of people walking out.
They're about tied. The reason I'm gonna walk out is because I want to take damage from the Beamos.
Oh. Alright, so now that we've got a ton of explosives, we've got 2 switches under our belt, it's time to get a bunch of songs. We're going to have to go to Forest Temple, or we're going to have to go to Fire Temple. So I'm going to spend a little bit of time getting those songs so that we can come back to them later on when we've routed ourselves into some corners.
Top getting to do some 1.0 QPA.
Yeah, the empty jump slash thing is so cool. I'm so glad that that exists for N64, because it meant that N64 like was not really at a disadvantage in this challenge except for maybe Gim, but Gim wasn't like that much faster. Game is nerfed by the fact that everyone's bad at it. It's extremely true. There's like 5 people in the whole OT community who are like genuinely good at Gim.
A lot of cutscene skips happening.
Count getting the untargeted mega flip ESS.
Call those the mess.
The mess. So, now there's 2 options. When you get to Zora's River, you can either go to Jabu first, or you can go to Water Temple first. And if you go to Jabu first, then you have to do the, like, reverse King Zora skip weird slide, which I don't know about anybody else, but I hate that trick a lot, so I will just avoid it if I can. I don't know if it was faster, though. I didn't even time it. I was just like, it's probably close enough for me to not care which one I do here. Whereas if you do Water Temple first, and you want to go back to Jabu, You just leave Water Temple, Mega Flip Clip back into Zoro's domain. It's pretty easy. Will the Benchmark win the task? I don't know. Benchmark hasn't won any of the tasks yet. And that is because I am not good at routing. I'm good at playing, but I'm not good at routing. Basically every single task so far, my justification for doing these with Lotads was I'm gonna get beat on routing for sure. So I'll do whatever route I come up with as well as I can, and also I'm not spending 2 weeks routing every single one of these. So I just I come up with a challenge, I come up with a route that seems fine, and then I do it. And then I expect to get beat on routing. So, this was a main sticking point of this route, is this hover. In Water Temple, we gotta get to basically, you gotta go to Dark Link, right? The room right before him has the switch that we need to hit. And the only way to do it is to get 2 keys, and you can either get Zelda's Lullaby and get 2 easy keys, or you can skip Zelda's Lullaby and get 2 hard keys. And I am proud of, most people in this task went for a ZL skip, which was pretty cool, because this is not an easy hover, especially, kind of late in the run.
Yeah, I probably, I tried to be a baby, but it broke too many other things with my route, so I just had to suck it up and do it.
Feels good to get it done, though.
Yeah.
And then a nice easy ledge clip to get this second one. Doing it with bombs only isn't too painful if you do it with QPA hovers, I think.
I mean, that's what I did. I don't know that I would call it painful, but it's a little bit sketchy. Because the room's just a little bit short, so you need to do contortion hovers, because I think they get more height.
Yeah.
And then you don't quite have enough room to do clean hovers all the way. At least for the way I did it, the last hover ended up being a glorified damage boost.
Yeah.
Which was a little bit worrying, but it worked out for me.
So Tob has opted to go to Jabu first, as opposed to anybody else who does Water Temple. So we're probably going to see Tob do reverse King Zora skip after this, I imagine. The thing that I was trying to avoid at all costs. And so Jabu was where most people got their blue switch, because after you hit that first ceiling switch, which was kind of required for the route, this blue switch is only 15 seconds away, so pretty solid choice for where to get your blue switch. Oh, the other thing about TKC's route that I wanted to mention was that because they did GTG Choose and therefore skipped Spirit Trial Choose, they also skipped Decatry entirely and also skipped Bottle entirely. And so every time that they did Ocarina items, it was Bomb OI, which was just really cool. So the route turned out pretty nice.
I'm guessing they did 1/16 for fire then.
I think so.
Because I imagine you can't get through that without a bottle.
You mean for pausing the timer in jumps?
Well, I was just thinking can you even pause the timer to get from the second key over all the way up the
Yeah, I think you need 4
fire
hearts for
shaft?
that.
Oh, that's true. You could just get 4 hearts, like some of these runners did.
Yeah, but I mean the heart to get would have been Decatry, which TKC didn't do.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I guess if all else fails, you could just get Fire Tunic, but
yeah. But yeah, Egg is what TKC did. Egg is what he used for the what's it called? The bomb.
Oh, time stop. Or Oh, right, okay. But yeah, you could also use egg for time stop then too.
Yeah. So a few days ago, I had posted in the OoT Discord some wacky ass strategy to get into Jabu with just bombs as adult, and I found that for this task and opted not to do it because it's really hard.
I was gonna ask if we were gonna see anybody do that. Guess not.
It's one of those things that's like, okay, it's good that that's possible if you really need for it to be possible, but otherwise, probably don't do this. Okay, so currently, Count and ZFG and I are pretty much all in the same spot, having done our gold eye switch, silver eye switch, blue switch, crystal switch, toggle switch, and ceiling switch. So the only ones left are the red floor switch, the yellow floor switch, and the rusted floor switch. Which means Fire Temple and Water Temple. Or, sorry, Fire and Forest. Yeah, I did the gold eye switch in DC, like most people did. When I was there for bombs. But as I was mentioning before, my first iteration of this benchmark just forgot that the switches in DC were gold. I thought they were silver in my head. And so I just didn't do that. And so I got a gold eye switch in Forest Temple in the block room, which wasn't actually that bad. The block room in Forest Temple, if you get on top of the red block, you're actually just 2 QPA hovers away from being able to hit that gold switch that drops the arrows chest. So it was actually not hard at all. You just ground jump onto the red block, the higher block, and then just do 2 QPA hovers towards the switch, do a backflip with ISG, and you get it. Fire first should be better. So I did Forest first because I used Forest to take some damage. Have I ever considered remaking a low-tad mid-task? I've done that, yeah. Not using anyone else's ideas, but just, like, making sure that it is up to snuff, because some of the ones I made when I made most of them, like, way back in, like, October, I was, like, getting kind of burnt out, and they were shitty, so, I revised some of mine a little bit. Map hookshot tech? Wait, what was that? I missed it. Count, did you do something wacky in the map?
I don't think so.
Count also missed it.
No, I did kill the skull.
The blue bubble are we talking about?
Yeah, I killed it.
Alright, so Count gets to go through here with 4 hearts. Which, honestly, is not really any less scary than 1/16th, in my opinion, because 4 hearts is, like, it's pretty tight.
It's only less scary on, like, the second half, but on the
Yeah.
first part, you still basically need to keep full health.
Yeah. Because with 1/16th, if you start doing, like rolling into firewalls or whatever, then you can get that, what is it, 1/8 chance that you just die.
Right.
Top going for some extra bombs before proceeding into the rest of the temple. So, Count has already done Forest Temple, and is kind of near the beginning of Fire. ZFG has not done Forest Temple, and is pretty deep into Fire Temple. So, we'll see how this goes. I don't think Tob has Tob done Forest Temple? I honestly forget at this point.
I don't remember.
I would like to just call attention to Count's screen for the next 30 seconds while he does this 4-heart room. This is the hardest part of doing Fire Temple with 4 hearts, getting through this right here, and missing that ledge grab is, like, extremely terrifying.
I think usually you're fine if you miss the ledge grab, because you can do, like, more time stops on the block rising up.
Yeah. Do you know how close you came here? Because I do.
It was
I
pretty
checked.
close.
I checked. And you were 1 frame from dying. I want everybody to know that you were 1 frame from dying when you opened that door.
I didn't fully register that when I was doing it. I thought it would be fine.
I was counting, and I was like, 17, 18, 19, and then you opened the door. Alright, ZFG about to finish Fire Temple and head straight to Forest Temple for the final switch. But will ZFG finish Forest before Count finishes Fire? That's the big question. RTA also doing the 4-heart strat in this room.
What did RTA pause there for? Was that the pause buff or something?
I'm not sure. A little comfier on RTA's exit. Had 2 full seconds. Oh yeah, probably just to make sure he hit the hook shot, like Fanta said. Just because, like, if you waste time in that room and you have to climb, it can get a little sketchy.
Oh, okay.
So, for the very first time, nobody beat the benchmark because the routing was not very hard with this one.
Oh,
So
GG.
I managed to win. Very cool.
Congrats, Danny.
Thank you.
Your first win.
Nobody guessed it. Nobody guessed my win. Let me see. All right, yeah, there we go. Put that back in my runs place. And it's very close between Count and ZFG here. ZFG coming in with a 43-31 in first place. Very cool. Congrats to ZFG, who is not here. And Count coming in very close behind with a different dungeon order at 43-50 flat. Yep. Now it's a race between RTA and Tob. Let me resolve that prediction before I forget. It was indeed ZFG who won this one. What does that make it? 5 Count, 3 ZFG?
I think so.
And 1 Danny.
And that's right. I'm proud of my win. It's probably the only one that I get to win. So Tob just has to make a quick pit stop to Forest Temple to finish up his. But I think RTA is done here in Fire. Do I think my route was optimal? It was pretty much the same as the top few runners. So I want to say yes. I don't. The one thing that I'm not sure of, because I didn't even time, was whether it was better to do Jabu before Water Temple, just because I really just didn't care to do reverse King's Aura skip. I just don't like that trick at all. Count, did you and your team happen to time that?
I don't think so. I want to say water before is better.
Child only was faster? Really? Holy shit. That's crazy. RTA, for some reason, opting to go out the door for his final switch instead of... He plays glitchless, so I don't know. I don't know what was going on there, but RTA coming in a very strong third place with a 45-57. And Tob rounding out the top 4. Oh, with a cool little hammer kill on on those vine skulls. That was neat.
I was thinking about after Hammer to go the casual way back to get also the blue switch on the big stair room, but then I found other blue switches on the way, so I didn't have to.
Yeah, I one person did hit that blue switch in the stairs room of Fire Temple, that room that like nobody ever goes to. But I think the Jabu blue switch was just so strong because it comes like 15 seconds after that ceiling switch. So most people chose that one.
Yeah. While doing my run and being in Child Spirit, I realized I hit the blue switch with the Beamos, with Amos.
Yeah,
and then, oh yeah, I hit the switch already. Nice.
Sick. Todd came in 4th place with a 46-49. Honorable mention to TKC, who came in 5th with a 47-16, only just barely missing the top 4 with that really cool route that I was talking about earlier with GTG Choose and Bomba Wise everywhere. So that was really cool to see. Cool. So I'm going to switch over to the leaderboard so we can see how everybody did on this task. And if anybody on the comms with me has anything left they want to say about task 8, now's the time.
8. Yeah, I realized I can't do math.
Why? What happened?
I counted like 3 times in a row, and every time I didn't get 9,000, and the fourth time I was at 9,000. I have no idea, man.
Oh, task 9. Yeah.
What does it say? Oh yeah, for a new task.
Yeah, task 9 is it's a tricky one to route. Just keeping track of everything will be tough. But yeah, good luck to you guys who are participating in task 9. And thank you for joining comms with me. It's a lot of fun. And have a good rest of your weekend. I'm gonna switch over to leaderboard tab, and folks won't be able to hear you anymore. So see you guys.
See ya.
Bye.
All right. So now for the leaderboard, let's take a quick look. Just go ahead and make a couple backend changes here. And we should see the leaderboard go live right about now. Okay, here we go. Count is still in first with 1503. ZFG caught up by 30 points today with 1400. There are 2 tasks left. So it is still possible for ZFG to surpass Count, but it's looking tough. ZFG will have to beat Count by more than just first place to second place in both of the remaining tasks in order to win. So it's looking a little dicey for anyone who isn't named WR_CountLG. TKC moving up to 7th place with a very strong top 5 finish. Triforce and Link moving up. Link entering the top 10. Very nice. Some good movement on here. Magic Shanson moving up 5 places. Mako moving up 7 places. And then let's look over at Task 8 specific leaderboard. ZFG coming in first. Count coming in second. RTA in third and top and fourth, as we just saw. And nobody getting those nice little gold points on next to their point value, because nobody beat the benchmark this time for the first time ever. And here is what the full leaderboard looks like. Shout outs to everybody who did this task, especially if you skipped Zelda's Lullaby and did that water temple hover. That was really cool. Extra shout outs to TTTO, who joined for the first time, and in doing so completed what they said was their first OOT speedrun ever, which was super cool because this was not an easy one to do your first OOT speedrun ever on. So well done. And that's it. That's the thing. How many runners participated in all tasks so far? Let's take a look at the overall screen. That number is 56 people have competed in at least one of the tasks. And there is still time to make that number bigger. If you're watching this right now and you haven't competed in OMS and you think it might be fun, you have 2 more tasks to compete. Task 9 is half over right now. How many runners completed every single task? That I don't have a stat for. I'd have to actually check. I know Count, ZFG, and Tub, and Fanta, I think, definitely did. I mean, most Runner Guy definitely did. Most people in the top 10 or so probably have, just because it would be hard to get so many points. But I'm not super sure who missed one task or whatever. But yeah, I'll check that out. Cool. So yeah, like I said, task 9. Let's take a look at task 9 real quick. Did CFG miss task 1? I don't think so. I think he just didn't perform super well. Yeah, he was 18th place because he did some route that he just wanted to show off, but he wasn't going hard on that. So task 9, this is the one that players are currently working on. and it closes in a little over a week. It's called It's Over 9,000, and the goal is to collect 9,000 or more points worth of treasure chests without duping any treasure chests, which is something that's possible. And chests are worth different numbers of points depending on what's in them. 400 points are sea items, swords, shields, and boots. And 300 points are heart piece chests, 200 points for gold rupee chests, 100 points for dungeon map, compass, or boss key, and 50 points for small keys. And this one is pretty straightforward as far as like what you need to accomplish, but very, very open-ended for the routing. This is probably the most open-ended task so far. So if you are participating in this one, good luck. I am really excited to see the routes that people come up with for this, because I guarantee you on this one I will not win. The benchmark will not be the winner for Task 9 because of the routing issue, which I am not very good at. And then Task 10 is opening up in 6 days. I'll be revealing Task 10 next Saturday night at midnight Eastern Time. And it is the final task. Only one more. There is only one task that you guys haven't seen so far. I can't believe we're already this far in, but it's pretty exciting. Task 10 will last 3 weeks. It will be open for 3 weeks as opposed to 2 for a couple reasons. One of those reasons is that Task 10 is the longest task. I will tell you that right now. Not really a spoiler, but it is. And also, Tears of the Kingdom is coming out a few days into Task 10. And I want to make sure that both I and some of the players in OMS get time to spend time on that game if they want. So, yeah, that's what's coming down the pipeline. Thank you guys for watching. The other thing that I wanted to highlight is that we are just about a month from the end of OMS, with Task 9 having 1 week left, Task 10 having 3 weeks left, and then 1 more week before the final results. So if at any point during those next 5 weeks you would like to contribute to the OMS prize pool, this GoFundMe will remain live until the end of the whole thing. There's currently $1,850 available in the prize pool, plus $500 that I'm putting in myself, making for $2,350. There's a total prize pool going to the top 5 runners at the end. Oh yeah, sorry for your eyeballs. I hope your retinas are not burned to bits, going from the dark mode to the light mode. Sorry about that, I should have called that out. But yeah, you can find a link to this prize pool either on the OMS site, on the leaderboard, there's a link to it right here, or in the OMS chat command in my chat at any time. So that'll be open for the next 5 weeks. Anyway, thank you guys very much for watching. I'm not going to be able to do any other stream stuff today because I am going out with my family to celebrate my grandma's 97th birthday. So hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend. I'll be back on Tuesday. I'll be running Glitchless, going for that 209 until Tears of the Kingdom comes out in a week and a half, when I'm taking a week off work to just play Tears of the Kingdom on stream for like 1 billion hours. So if you're looking for Tears of the Kingdom streams, keep me in mind. Let's give somebody a little raid, and then I'll head offline. Who is online? How about Mr. Torja, going for the defeat Ganon world record? See you, friends.